Hey guys, my name is KenYada and welcome back to my channel.
Take sips of coffee.
So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be giving you a first trimester recap. I'm going to do a second trimester as well as the third trimester because, I just want to talk about what was going down, in this 10-month time frame during this pregnancy. So got my little notebook per usual where I was like documenting what was going on, because if you don't film that like in the moment, it's hard to remember, especially if, like, when I think of the first trimester, everything is just so, like, you're not really showing yet. It's like the first trimester to me is very weird. Like, you're already not really telling anybody, well, at least I can't speak for other people, but speaking for myself, you're not really telling a whole lot of people other than like need to know. And, it's hard to explain what's going on. Why is your behavior shifting? Because all these hormones are raging and like weird things, behavior is shifting. So without telling people, it's just like a weird time. Like I said, you're not really showing. I went back and was trying to like look for a picture, and I was like, I didn't even really take any pictures yet, because what are you really showing? Like, I mean, you can barely tell. Like, from the side, it's hard to see what's going on. You start getting a little bit of bump, but it can almost still look like maybe just like a food belly, or is she pregnant? It's weird. It's just a weird time. So I was like, I'm glad I wrote some stuff down, because I didn't even really take a picture, let alone trying to remember what was going on. So just like a few things to like talk about, mainly just like what was I feeling, what were my symptoms, different things like that. So first trimester, like, I really didn't tell a lot of people. I told my job because I was dealing with like a lot of nausea, and you definitely work afternoons and stuff in retail, but my schedule, I felt like I was working more in the mornings, and that is when my nausea was the worst. So just trying to explain bathroom trips, frequent bathroom trips, and anyone who just pays attention to behavior or like who you are, they're going to start to notice that something's a little off. So I definitely felt the need to tell like my boss like what was going on, because I was being weird, especially in the morning, because that's when like first thing to talk about was my nausea. I definitely had that first trimester. It was tolerable, but it was like morning sickness. Like, I definitely was dealing with it in the mornings, and I always had ginger ale with me. Like, it was always on my desk because I needed something to help. I didn't even really eat breakfast because I was scared that whatever I was going to eat was going to come up. So my breakfast was pretty much like a granola bar, something light. I wasn't eating like heavy breakfast just yet. It definitely picked up, later trimester. But granola bar, orange juice, ginger ale. I was definitely keeping it light. And even that I'm throwing up orange juice. It was just like, at this point, I didn't even really want to eat in the morning. But if you have to work an 8-hour shift, it's just kind of not wise. It's not smart to not have something on your belly. So I pretty much would just kind of eat something and deal with it later. The nausea was tolerable, but like I said, it was pretty heavy in the morning, and for someone who was working like a lot of morning shifts, it's getting a little difficult, and it was getting hard to like maintain a good energy level, because I was like throwing up. Like, the little bit that I was taking in, I was like throwing up. It wasn't getting on my nerves enough to where I was like worried about medication, but it was like a noticeable symptom that was like, okay, morning sickness is here, she's annoying, but we're like dealing with her. Like I said, I was still working, so I had a pretty decent energy level. I wasn't carrying a whole lot of weight just yet. Like I said, I mean, even from the side, you couldn't tell that I was pregnant. I would love to insert some pictures, but I didn't do a good job of documenting anything in the first trimester. I definitely got better comes second and third trimester. Like I said, it was a good, energy level, but I didn't sustain it throughout the entire day. I felt like I was using up most of my energy at work. So by the time I got home, I had nothing left to give, let alone take pictures and document and do all this, because it was like I came home and then I had a second job, caring for my 3-year-old. Well, at the time he was 2, he's 3 now. So caring for a 2-year-old, my toddler. So there was just no time to be I think that's what something, I don't know if people talk about this, but it's definitely a different experience when you already have a child and you're pregnant. When you're obviously your first child, you can, depending on what you got going on in life, you can lay around if you need to. You can stop and be like, I'm tired, I'm about to take a nap. Not so much when you have a toddler, like you just can't be out here just like in a coma like I was with Jeremiah. But I was definitely like dealing with, I don't know, like trying to balance the little bit of energy that I had, because that first trimester is, I'm not saying that the other ones aren't brutal, but for me, my first trimester, I think, was very brutal. And I don't know if it was because I was working and then still trying to be a mother when I came home. But that first trimester, because I feel like everything is really working overtime because it's getting everything started. It's like the body is like, light bulb, like switch, they flipping a switch and it's like, okay, like we got a little person growing inside there. It's time to kick it into overdrive. So it's like your body is working super hard to grow and do everything it needs to do to create a safe little home for your little one that you're growing. So I felt like my first trimester was like super brutal, even though my back is itching. Even though like the nausea was tolerable and I still had a decent energy level and was working, it was still like super brutal. I didn't have a lot of strong cravings in the first trimester. It was really like I was obsessed with chicken sandwiches. Like I already love chicken, but it was like the only thing I was eating. Like anytime Jermaine would ask me what I would want, it would always be some type of, when we went to go eat fast food, I felt like grocery store or like whatever I wanted for my lunch at work was always some type of pasta. It was like definitely with the Italian family. Like I was obsessed with chicken and Italian food with that first trimester. It was like anything that, chicken Alfredos. I was even trying different little, how they have those little steamers and pasta bowls and different things at the grocery store. That was like my go-to. I remember they were even joking about that at work where they were like, girl, like you're always eating some type of Italian food. All I did was like layer a bunch of cheese on it and like call it a day. Like Italian food, if I was doing like frozen dinners or anything like that, and then if we were eating out or just grabbing something, I was always wanting some type of chicken. I felt like we were eating Wendy's all the time, Culver's. Anybody who had a chicken sandwich, we were getting the chicken sandwich. I mean, I even tried that McDonald's chicken sandwich. Have y'all had that? That's supposed to be kind of like the Popeyes chicken. I don't know if we had a bad batch or if it was whatever, but like their McChicken is better than that chicken sandwich because it was literally like, I don't know. It just wasn't real chicken. It was like very chewy when chicken is not chewy. Like it's tender, juicy. Like I didn't know what that was, but I'm going off on a tangent here. The point is like I was trying and eating all this chicken because that's like the only thing I freaking had a taste for. Like that was the craving that came in cereal. I am not a person, like I said, the chicken, I definitely, I love chicken, pregnant or not, but it was like overdrive because it was like the only thing I was really trying to eat. But something that got introduced first trimester was cereal. Like, and I remember that from Jeremiah as well. Like, I don't really eat cereal. Like when I think of breakfast, if I eat breakfast, because sometimes I suck at like starting the day with breakfast, but if I do, it's normally like eggs, strawberries, bacon, sausage, whatever, the typical breakfast, right? But like when I got pregnant and that first trimester, I was like entered cereal. Like I could eat cereal any time of the day. I had multiple bowls, like sometimes like, because in the morning, that's when I was like the weakest. So I would wake up and immediately like take my vitamins and everything. And then I would eat like 2 bowls of cereal. It was always Frosted Flakes. I had Frosted Flakes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Rice Krispie Treats. Oh, and Honey Nut Cheerios. So it was like 4 cereals in rotation, and then randomly I wanted like Apple Jacks. Once the box was empty, I didn't get that, but I always had to have the Honey Nut Cheerios. That was the one that was like the go-to, and then following up with like Frosted Flakes. But like I would eat no matter what 2 bowls of cereal every single morning, and then maybe like an hour or so later, because it's cereal, like it's not by itself going to sustain anything, so I would have the cereal and then I would move on to like an actual breakfast. But that cereal, I couldn't start the day without it. Like, it was like fire. Like, I don't even know. And I was unnecessarily adding sugar to everything. Well, to the cereal, I was adding like all this sugar and everything. But ooh, I loved me some cereal in the morning. And the thing is, it just stopped. Like, once I had Jeremy, that was it. Like, I know we talked about first trimester, but I'm just looking ahead like, dang, it's crazy how you literally have these cravings when you're pregnant that just stop once you deliver. Like, I haven't even picked up a bowl of cereal since I delivered. Like, here we are 3 weeks postpartum. Yeah, and I haven't had a single bowl of cereal. This is just crazy to me. So yeah, those are like the cravings. I've already talked about some of my symptoms. The only other things I was going to talk about was my skin. I felt like that was something different for me than what I dealt with Jeremiah. Like, I've talked about it before. I don't do the best job of like always putting lotion on, you know, but this wasn't even like my body. It was my face. Like, my face was drying out for like no reason. My face was like drying out. I did switch products, but that didn't happen until later. So the dry skin was happening immediately. Here we are, first trimester, and I was feeling a shift in my skin because the products that I have been using for years, like I even have a skin care routine on my channel where I've been using like the same 3 products for years now. So I was like, this gotta be related to pregnancy, because why is my skin changing? Like, it was literally like I would have to put like 2 layers. Well, first of all, it was like dry skin and sensitive skin just emerged with this pregnancy. So I had to switch my moisturizer because it was like it was like burning my face, a moisturizer. So I was like, moisturizer supposed to be calming, like hydrating, moisturizing. Why is my face burning? So I had to start looking into a different moisturizer, and I started using Aveeno. It's like their daily moisturizer with SPF, and it's like a lotion. Like, the consistency of it is thicker, so I started using that, and very calming. I wasn't feeling any weirdness, and I was like, what the? Not only did I develop sensitive skin, but now my skin's dry. Like, I have combination skin, but it was more a combination of just like oily, dry patches. You know what I mean? My face is just dry now, and I don't know, it's still like that. Like I said, I'm 3 weeks postpartum, and I'm still like dealing with the same. I don't think my face is as sensitive as it was when I was pregnant, but it's definitely still dry. Like, if I don't like use that moisturizer, like, I don't feel like my face is hydrated. Like, I feel like especially around this part of my face, like the lower half of my face, just, it feels dry. Like, now when I wake up in the morning and, you know, just kind of brush my teeth and like wash my face and stuff, it's just dry. And I'm like, I guess this is just something that's gonna be with me now. Like, I don't know, guys. Hopefully, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I just think it's weird that like your skin can just change like that because of pregnancy. It's kind of weird. Yeah, those were like the main things, you know. Like, these recaps are pretty much just going to be any like cravings. I'm going to talk about my symptoms that I was dealing with, or anything that just emerged that was different, like with my body or personality or anything like that. Not so much like doctor's appointments and ultrasounds and stuff, because they were pretty typical. There was never anything that really came up that was like, let me discuss this because it was scary or whatever. So that's what you can expect with the 2nd and 3rd trimester recap video. Like I said, I'm giving you guys all the tea about my pregnancy journey. So make sure, if you're interested in these type videos, that you just keep watching, you're subscribed, you turn on your post notifications so you know when I upload, because I'm super excited to talk about it. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video here, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you take the time to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.